1. A lonely life under the wide open sky. The introduction builds emotional weight around the rancher's solitude. It sets him up as a hardened, forgotten man with a tender heart buried deep. The audience must feel sympathy for his isolation before the story truly begins. The atmosphere should be cinematic: dusty plains, fading sun, quiet life, preparing viewers for the emotional storm that's about to unfold. The audience must immediately sense that this story isn't about land or cattle, but about human pain, healing, and the choices that define us. 2. The fateful discovery at the fence. Here, Samuel discovers a girl, only 16 years old, tied cruelly to a fence, abandoned by her father like an unwanted burden. The scene must be painted with raw detail. Her trembling hands, dirt-streaked face, cracked lips, and the silent sob that come when a child has already cried too much. Samuel's shock and horror will mirror the audience's emotions. His loneliness collides with her suffering, pulling him into a decision he never thought he'd face. Should he walk away and protect himself, or step into a storm of responsibility and pain? 3. A rescue born from pain. Samuel frees the girl, but this isn't a simple act of kindness. It's the beginning of a fragile bond. The girl, fearful and distrustful, recoils at his touch, expecting cruelty, because that's all she's known. Samuel, unused to speaking much, fumbles with words, trying to reassure her. The audience must feel the tension of two broken souls meeting, one who has forgotten how to love, and one who has never been loved. This section will dig deep into the emotional awkwardness and slow warmth of human connection when survival forces two strangers together. 4. Bringing her into a silent world. Samuel takes the girl back to his ranch, a place that had been filled only with silence. The girl sees his loneliness reflected in the empty rooms, the unused dishes, the single chair by the fire. Slowly, the house begins to shift, not by decoration, but by her presence. A glass of water placed on a table, a faint sound of laughter breaking the stillness, or a soft conversation that feels unfamiliar but needed. The ranch, once dead and hollow, starts to breathe again. The audience must feel hope blooming against the backdrop of despair. 5. The first smile and the hidden truth twist here. For the first time, the girl smiles, fragile, hesitant, but real. Samuel feels something awaken in him, as though his years of silence have been preparing him for this single moment of connection. But just when the story feels like it's turning toward healing, the twist strikes. Samuel learns the truth. Her father didn't just abandon her out of cruelty. He was running from something dark and dangerous. The girl's past isn't just painful, it's dangerous. By saving her, Samuel has unknowingly invited that danger into his quiet life. The audience must feel the shock and tension rise sharply here. 6. Ghosts of the past arrive at the ranch. No supernatural ghosts, but the past manifests in real, human danger. A shadow of the father or people connected to him threatens the fragile safety of the ranch. The girl panics, fearing Samuel will now abandon her too. Samuel wrestles with himself. Should he protect her, even at risk to his own life, or push her away to shield himself? This section should hammer the audience with suspense and emotional weight, balancing fear with a fragile trust forming between them. 7. A silent man's burden. Samuel reflects on his own past, losses, regrets, the reasons for his isolation. The audience learns that his loneliness wasn't just by choice, but born from a life of grief that made him too afraid to connect. Now, this girl forces him to confront what he has run from for years. He realizes that protecting her isn't just about her survival. It's about reclaiming his own humanity. This deep character reflection allows the audience to connect to Samuel on a personal level, rooting for him to stand strong. 8. Building trust brick by brick. The bond between Samuel and the girl deepens. Small details, her learning to feed the horses, his cooking for her, their shared silence turning into gentle conversation. Show a growing father-daughter-like relationship. The emotional weight lies not in grand gestures, but in the fragile, everyday moments of healing. The girl begins to see Samuel not as a rescuer, but as family. The audience must feel their hearts pulled, watching two wounded souls build something beautiful from brokenness. 9. The storm breaks. The outside threat finally reaches the ranch. This could be the father returning in a drunken rage, or dangerous men tied to his mistakes. The peaceful silence Samuel and the girl had built is shattered. Here, tension and fear must rise to their peak. Samuel faces a decision. Does he fight? Does he flee? Or does he sacrifice himself for the girl who has given him back his will to live? The audience must feel the storm both emotionally and physically, fearing for both characters' lives. 10. A choice that defines a life. Samuel makes the ultimate decision to protect her, even if it costs him everything. This section is raw, full of sacrifice and the courage of a man who had once hidden from the world, but now finds something worth standing for. The emotional intensity must grip the audience, making them hold their breath as they wait to see whether Samuel's choice leads to tragedy or salvation. 11. After the storm. The dust settles. Whether through confrontation or escape, Samuel and the girl survive. But survival has changed them. The girl is no longer just a broken soul. She's stronger, because someone finally chose her instead of abandoning her. Samuel, too, is no longer the lonely rancher. He has reclaimed a part of himself that had been buried. The ranch, once silent and empty, now carries the sound of life, hope, and second chances. 12. A family forged in pain and love. The conclusion ties the emotional arc together. The girl is not just someone Samuel saved. She is now his daughter in every way that matters. The story closes with a message that family isn't always about blood, but about who stays, who protects, and who loves without conditions. The audience must leave with tears, hope, and a lingering thought that even in the loneliest places, love can be found in the most unexpected ways.